Hey Scorpio, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all having a great day. I'm going to see what the present energy is saying, look at the past, future, how you see yourself at this time, external influences, hopes, fears, and overall outcome. We've got the Three of Pentacles on the back of the deck. First card out, Four of Pentacles. Second card out, King of Cups. This feels like lessons in money, clearing abundance blocks, taking something to the next level financially, maybe expanding something in business. There's lessons that had to be learned in order to receive something. That thing of we don't receive what we want, we receive what we're ready for. It feels like there's something you've asked for, something you've asked to achieve, something you've set out to create, to attain, to build in the physical, but it's meant having to evolve on a spiritual level, having to face your shadow, some kind of rite of passage. There's certain things you needed to know and certain things you needed to let go of, certain emotions that needed to be mastered so that business can prosper. It feels like being in a place where the materialistic side of things couldn't sway you away from your value, from your integrity. That regardless of what's happening, regardless of how you're feeling, that you're always going to make decisions based on what's true to you because there's something that you fully detached from. It's like you're good without something now. Trust that something's happening without waiting for it to happen. It feels like really mastering detachment. And it feels like this is a very contrasting energy to where you started off. That there's been a reason why this Four of Pentacles energy is like you could have really self-sabotaged in terms of holding on too tightly. That greed kind of energy. Fear of change. A need for some kind of control. Something's coming through to share about my hand. A few people have asked me like what happened to my hand, and there's so many different things, like I don't even know where to start. And it's like a skin irritation, but regardless of why it's there, because there's so many reasons and things that could cause it to flare up. Different foods, inflammation, anything that causes inflammation, really, in terms of stress levels, in terms of being in survival mode too long, in terms of food, sugar, whatever it is. Like when I start to feel stressed or anxious, it flares up. And eczema is something I suffered with for since I was a child, since I was a baby, and tried every kind of medical cream, medical thing, and nothing really worked. And then I found this one lady who literally became like family to me, and I actually love this woman. And she studies Chinese medicine, herbalism, and literally just healed everything that I ever had. I would just go there, she would give me some kind of natural remedy, and even if it was the worst thing in the world that I thought would never heal or would take time to heal from, things that I've been told I couldn't heal, she just know what it is. Even down to issues with bones, like when I had issues with my bones, without an x-ray, I'd just walk in there and she'd look at it from an outside, check the energy, and she's like, oh, it's this, it's that. And she diagnosed me before I'd even had an x-ray. And this woman is literally legendary. But anyway, completely besides the point. I was guided to stop eating meat, stop eating dairy, and completely cleanse. And everything did, like inflammation zero, cold baths, eating from the earth, everything healed up. The other thing is, because of suffering with PTSD for so many years, that I would always have outbursts. So then I ended up turning to like a boxing bag. So when I felt like I was going to shift, I would just go and punch the bag. But I don't punch it with gloves because normally it's like an instant thing. Like I need to go and release. There's no time for me, and my brain's not consciously there to be preparing to box. It's just like run to the bag, smash the bag, let it out. because of different things that have happened, it's like my own unhealthy masculine energy, because of certain things generational, because of trauma that I've faced. It's like there was this control, like feeling like I could control things was my only sense of control, and feeling so out of control, which is one of the main reasons where the addiction stems from. And it's like I wouldn't slow down, I wouldn't let go, I wouldn't surrender. And things were happening to try and slow me down. And even now, for how long this has been like this, and it's like I've healed this thing, my darling hand, I've healed her however many times already. And I go and do the same things that I know it's bringing it back up, causing it to flare back up. But one of the main things that come through was really about mastering my masculine energy and learning how to let go, to loosen my grip. It's like, this is my right hand, like I actually can't do anything. Even in terms of having to slow down with readings, it's like, well, what are you gonna do now, bitch? Like, what are you gonna do now? And it's like that thing of when we don't change, or when certain things are getting in our way, even though it's not comfortable, things happen to force us to learn certain lessons, to slow down, to see the bigger picture, to learn how to drop into different energies. And it's like, regardless of what kind of logical outside thing that I label this to, it's flared up because I ate this, it's done this because I ate that, the fact of it is that when I eat those things, when I'm in a parasympathetic state, if you're away or you're doing something, like those of you that work 9 to 5s and then go on holiday, it's like when you're away, you can eat a lot more without feeling ill. You can indulge in things without feeling sluggish, because it's like you're in that meditative state. Everything's just flowing, everything's just working. But a lot of us are in survival mode throughout the day. Inflammation's already there. Then we're consuming all sorts of things to throw us out of whack. And even with the meat and dairy, it's not so much about the meat and the dairy as it is about how we get our meat and dairy for the masses and what's in that chemically. It's not like back in the day where everyone's got their own cow. And it's all, even the way that things are dealt with in terms of killing animals and how that's done, and the energy of that being in the meat that we then consume. So it's like when I was consumed with anger, being pent up on steak and whatever, it just like, it didn't work. And I feel like things like that, it didn't make sense at the time. Like, why do I need to do this now? Is this going to be forever? And a lot of the time it's like we think these changes are forever, that we're now adapting to a lifestyle. And sometimes it is that, but sometimes it's just for now. It's a shift needed for now. There's a bigger reason. It's not so black and white. It's like, it's not because of this, it's not because of that. In terms of, at first it was like, oh, I'm stopping eating meat because how much I love animals. Yeah, true. I'm stopping eating meat because I don't like how people are treating animals in factory farms. Yeah, true. But why is this the perfect time for all this to come to my consciousness right now in this moment? Why hasn't this come up before? What is this preparing me for? And then it's like, I couldn't even go near meat. I couldn't even I don't know why this is relevant and this is all long, but I'm just going to keep flowing. I couldn't even go near meat or smell it or see it or anything like that. Like, I'd see a piece of meat and I'd see the animal. And then the stray cat found me, and I'm finding myself cutting up beef, turkey, chicken and tuna for the cat. And it's like something shifted. But again, it's just like having to keep letting go. Having to let go of me, and then having to let go of the fixation that to eat meat is wrong or right, or to not eat it is wrong or right. That anything is wrong or right. And then really understanding the cycle of life. And that thing of just having to keep letting it go. Working through those feelings. I didn't feel comfortable to feed the cat these things. I'm thinking, cat, you're going to be vegetarian. I'm thinking, how can I do this to the cat? The cat's trying to hunt down pigeons. The cat wants meat. That's her nature. And then it's like it triggers a whole nother thought process of, okay, well, if you do feed the cat meat, then what kind of meat are you feeding her? And then it's got me thinking about trying to find access to places where I can get like not factory farmed, mass produced kind of food for the cat. But it's like, even going down all these different roads, there's so many different things that I needed to know, or that things that have come to light that have nothing to do with what I'm eating, but things that I need to know, things that I need to be aware of, even in terms of opportunities. And it feels like you're being forced to let go of every box you've been in. This is kind of where my point is. It's like letting go of every limitation you put on yourself, every box. You could be feeling called to even take things to extremes in terms of putting yourself out of your comfort zone, going and doing things that don't feel comfortable, that don't really feel like the you that you've been programmed to be. And it's not a case of turning your back on yourself, but it's like giving yourself the space to reevaluate and reconfirm what is actually for you outside of the programming. Because it's like, there may be a lot of things you enjoy, and maybe some of the things that you've been doing are still things you're going to be doing. But it feels like there's an opportunity for more. But in order to receive that, in order to experience that, space needed to be created. And the only way to create that space was to really let go of old narratives, old programming, letting go of control, learning how to surrender, to sit in those uncomfortable feelings, to move through things. What's this? I see. They came out in reverse, but the deck was upside down, and I'm guided to flip them back. You received a message. You received a message, you had a thought, you had a knowing. Something's been confirmed to you. You've been enlightened. Something you've always thought, something you've always pondered on, was confirmed by your intuition. It's like you've reached a different level of enlightenment. You've liberated yourself, freed yourself from some kind of past attachment. But it feels like it's been many years of mastering thoughts, of accepting certain thoughts. It's like there's been a lot of confusion. But you chose to move on from an old way, from some kind of intention. Protect your community, protect your family, protect your foundations, protect what you're building, protect your vision. However that resonates with you. There's something very special coming in. This could be a family, a start of a family, an expansion of family, meeting a like-minded community, like-minded individuals, friendship. It could be relationship for some of you. There's something very fulfilling, something that's for you, something that you needed to work towards being ready for. That's here. Something you're going to want to protect. It's like if you feel guided to protect your energy at this time, or to set boundaries, making certain moves in terms of clearing your space. Maybe that means certain individuals you're around. The Sun. 4 of Wands, 7 of Wands. The Star, 2 of Wands. The Fool. Yes, it's not been an easy ride. It's been painful. a choice to liberate yourself, to fight through something. It feels like not going and getting what's yours. It's like this has been a huge commitment, but the fight's over. Something's over. It's time for a new adventure. You knew what you was being prepared for. It's like you've always known what you're being prepared for, or what you're here to do in some way, why certain things had to happen. It's very intuitive energy. 7 of Cups, the Moon, Judgment. It's a very intuitive energy. It's like you knew where you were heading, but a chapter's done, a season's done, something's over with. But it's like there could be some conflict about having to change something physically, having to start something again. It's making you feel vulnerable. It could cause you, it's putting you 8 of Swords, yeah. 8 of Swords, Page of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. It's like there's something you need to leave behind, or you're moving into a new chapter. But it's like uncomfortable. It feels like it's uncomfortable because it's new. Yeah, 8 of Swords. It's uncomfortable because it's new, because it doesn't feel like you. Or because you've got to adjust to feeling like you because of how much you've not been feeling like you. In the past, change could cause you to start overcomplicating things. It feels like in terms of, and I do this all the time, it feels like in terms of overthinking the spiritual meaning. Like there's following the signs, there's seeing the signs, and then there's driving yourself absolutely cuckoo. What it's giving is like that Lost program. Is it Lost? I don't know, I think that's what it was called, and there was a plane crash and they all were on the beach and then they were following the numbers or something, and then they just led them to their doom. I can't even remember what happened, or they woke up and it was all a dream. I remember it was just the worst thing I ever watched. But there was something about, it's like there's curiosity, and then there's obsession, then there's it's like something has the ability to get dark if you, it's like look the other way for a second, let it go for a second. You could be feeding something too much energy with thought or feeling. It feels like in terms of trying to understand why something is the way it is, what this means, whatever this is. And it's like, kind of like Source being like, do you have to know everything? Like leave something for us. Leave something for a surprise. Leave something. It's like, it's not your business. Sincerely, Spirit. Go and enjoy yourself. Do something else. Ace of Cups, how you see yourself. External influences, justice in your favour. It's like, it's good. It's good. Don't... It feels like you could be worrying about something, wanting confirmation on something. Or it's like feeling like something's coming in, and this could be causing anxiety, and then you could be mentally labelling it with some kind of negative narrative or fearful narrative. It's like, let it be, trust, let go. It's not going to be comfortable for you to experience this change or this different thing, whatever it is. Some of you it could be relationship, some of you it's just different choices. But this is like big major life choices, something changing. King of Wands. Feels like you do let this go. Outcome 3 of Cups, and it's coming through like, whether you like it or you don't like it, you're gonna give it a go. It's like, even if you know there's a chance you may not enjoy something, or there's some fear of stepping into something new or doing something different, it feels like you're gonna choose to do it anyway, regardless of your feelings, regardless if it feels dissatisfying. It's like, you know, it's time to make a decision. 4 of Cups, 3 of Cups, Queen of Swords, 9 of Swords, yourself. It's like, see that anxiety, do it anyway. Hold your own hand, work through that, like move through the feelings. This isn't going to be for all of you, but something's coming up, and about panic attacks, that if you're having restless nights or sleepless nights, if you're waking up in the middle of the night, or if you can't sleep because of attacks, or you find yourself laying there stuck kind of thing, there's something coming through about, I think it's Mel Robbins, that I heard, that I watched a video that she put out, that explained this. This was like years ago when I was really battling, and still now on and off I do, but more so like it was a daily occurrence some years ago, about just getting up and moving through the feelings. So it's like, if you find yourself sitting and feeling tense, or it's like you feel kind of numb, or if you're laying there, it's like, instead of forcing yourself to sleep in that state of survival, like to get up, to move through things. Because even if you tire yourself out whilst regulating, that it's going to be better than to continue to suppress something. I don't know why this is coming up, but the Nine of Swords was there. So maybe there is something about sleepless nights. It's not going to be forever. Something's not forever. Remember, everything's temporary. It feels like you're really having to dig deep for some inner strength right now. I'm seeing someone carving like a picture in wood, in stone. I don't know what it is. But it's like how when you're doing that, those fine details, looking at the stone, carving things out, it just looks like holes in a wall close up. But like when you move back to fully appreciate the picture and see what the artist created, it's like you're about to be in that part where you're enjoying your picture, where you're enjoying your own artwork, your own creation, where you're able to slow down, sit back, admire, and then continue to grow and continue to evolve something. But if there's ever a time to get serious and get focused about some kind of dream, it's now. It's like, be as careful as you were when you first started some project, some creation, some business. When you first get that idea. What is given is like at school, like if you were writing in a book, a lot of people, it's like the first few pages will look immaculate, and then as you go through and your arm gets lazy and it gets a bit sloppy, and then it's like you can't even read what's on the page. There's something about that. If we was as careful at the end as we were at the beginning, there'd be no failure. That's not quite the quote, but more or less. It's like, come back. Like shake it off, start again. Like it's that first fresh page. Even like if you get an idea, it's like getting excited about that idea. This is from myself, this is me. I'll get an idea, I'm like, oh my god, I'll go out and buy all matching stationery to match this idea, and I'll set it all out. And it's like, oh, this book is going to be for this idea, and da-da-da, and I'll write the date and I'll write the name of the idea, and then I'll find that book sometime later. And it's like, Or like I'll start the project, I'll start a course with so much enthusiasm that it's like everything's written with intention and neatly, and like making extra notes, and there's so much love into it, and then I'll find myself sitting down just like, oh, I need to get this done, but it's like it's not registering. I'm not being as careful as I was when I was excited about it. Get excited about something again, even if it means taking a break. You could be burnt out. So like, fill your cup first. Take as much time as you need. You've done the hardest part of this journey or this work in terms of internally. Something's been made conscious that you're never going to go asleep on again, and it feels like something life-changing. Be grateful, you have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness, a contented personal life. Reach out to others for comfort and love. You will grow stronger from this situation. Sadness that will heal with time. 3 of Winter, which is like 3 of Swords energy. The bear on this card's giving hibernation. You may be feeling called to go within to really master yourself. 3000. 3 on the clock. A financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now. An unexpected supporter of your cause. Innovative, inspiring, wise and theatrical. 22. And on that note, we've got the Hermit as well, which is similar to this hibernation energy, how it's coming through. Find or be a mentor. Take a break from society. A commitment to your spiritual growth. Something's really blossoming within you. Something's really about to prosper. In terms of business, in terms of something you're building in the physical, something you're co-creating. It feels like there's been a lot of intention, a lot of it feels like a huge spiritual awakening. Plan your next steps for the long term. Or it's like there's a lot. It's like co-creating, but not just co-creating, but really working with spirit. The dolphin, number 40, and the rabbit. So the rabbit is fear. The dolphin, I think, mana, the life force, the breath. And the way out of fear is through the breath. It's like fear is really in the breath, that shortness of breath. If you sit down and meditate, I always bring up this left-right nostril breathing. This left-right nostril breathing literally saved my ass so many times. Master Sri Akashana, if I pronounced that incorrectly, I apologise. But basically, said this before, but like close the right nostril with your thumb. If you can't, you can do it with just intention, but if it's not working for you, you can do that. So it's like you close it, you breathe in, inhale, close both sides, and then release from the right. And it just instantly calms you down, regulates. Because it's like if you're breathing more through the left side, apparently you're in that parasympathetic state, and normally when you're breathing through the right, it's like that fire, that heated energy. So just by sitting there a few times, breathing in for a few seconds through the left, holding it a few seconds, then releasing through the right a few seconds, however many times you need to, that will just help regulate things. Or the 4x4 method, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 4, whatever it is that feels right for you. Grounding is another great one. Like then you don't even need to do anything, because Mother Earth, yeah. Like in my worst panic attacks where I'll literally be Taz, can't even string a conversation together, smashing through everything. If I run outside and stand on the grass, bare feet, I literally, it's just like an instant relief. And the same for anything, like that shortness of breath, whatever it is, even aches, pains, acid, stomach pain, headache, whatever you might, toothache, whatever you might have, or you might, any kind of inflammation. It's like disease is really inflammation. Because it feels like the way through this fear is to drop into that parasympathetic state. Whether that means slowing down, treating yourself to some kind of pampering, luxury, travel, whatever it is, shifting environment, different locations, different vibrations. I don't even feel guided to read these from the book, guys. I feel like I'm just going to pull the angel cards. If that message is just coming through with that as that. Number 6, Lelael. Blessed with great idealism and balance, he has the strength to prevent evil. Always quick to help people in need, he makes sacrifices through acting without self-interest. He can sometimes lack willpower, and it is possible for him to leave the battleground. Though he tries to be master of himself, the symbol with which he is associated is the snake that bites its own tail as a symbol of rebirth. He feels the protection of God and the angelic world and is able to make strong psychic contact. He receives messages by tuning into the world of the spirits, and he can even move objects through the power of the mind. He is able to develop concepts sent to him from an astral plane and simplify knowledge he has obtained from study of traditional texts so that more people can understand the beauty of sciences of the angels, planet Neptune. Attribute praiseworthy God, reasons for invoking to cure illnesses of spirit, to help us avoid being overambitious or using power for illicit ends, to help us reflect, to protect us from wicked people. It feels like you could have either been the darkness, and when I'm saying the darkness, I mean in terms of, not like in terms of the light and the dark within everything. Well, yeah, but like, it feels like you could have really been reckless, and you needed to know reckless to be able to help the reckless. That's how it feels. Or it's like to be a guiding light. An old way is leaving, but it's like, it feels like you'll never, that there's really nothing to fear after you've faced all things within yourself. It's like the strength of your spirit. You've proven to yourself that the strength of your spirit can overcome anything, regardless of how heavy that energy is. It's like you know it, and because either you've been it, it's like you've either been the thing that you're now, I don't want to say fighting, or that you're now teaching, let's say, or you're now sending love to in some way. This isn't going to resonate with everyone, but it's like you really needed to know something. It's like insider energy. You had to experience something because you needed to know about that thing for whatever it is you're here to do. And maybe you experience being the exact energy that you don't agree with. Maybe you experience things with energies that you don't agree with. Either way, it's like, it's divine, and it feels like you're seeing that. Regardless of how outsiders see something, you're seeing the divinity within yourself. You're seeing how perfect everything really is, how perfect you really are. In terms of nothing's by accident. I'm going to leave it there, guys. If this did resonate, like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you soon. Sending so much love.